The air crackled with tension. It was as if the very fabric of history was being torn apart, thread by thread. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation, a sense of foreboding that something monumental was about to unfold. News helicopters circled overhead, their cameras trained on a scene of chaos below. Another shooting, another tragedy. The whirring of the helicopter blades seemed to echo the collective heartbeat of a nation in distress. Reporters scrambled to capture every angle, every tear-streaked face, every moment of despair. But this one felt different. This one had the name Trump whispered alongside it, a name that carried with it a weight of history, controversy, and a legacy that seemed to be unraveling before our eyes. The whispers grew louder, turning into a cacophony of speculation and judgment. A name synonymous with ambition, wealth, and now, increasingly, division. The Trump name had always been a lightning rod, attracting both admiration and scorn in equal measure. It was a name that evoked images of towering skyscrapers, opulent lifestyles, and a relentless pursuit of power. This wasn't just another headline, it was a culmination, a boiling point in a story that began generations ago. A story that had seen its fair share of triumphs and tribulations, of dreams realized and shattered. It was a story that had been written in the annals of American history, a story that was now reaching a critical juncture. This is the story of the Trump family legacy, a twisted tale of ambition, power, and the heavy price of fame. A legacy that had been built on the foundations of hard work and determination, but also marred by controversy and scandal. It was a legacy that had seen the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. It's a story that stretches back to a small village in Germany, where the seeds of ambition were first sown. A humble beginning that would eventually give rise to one of the most powerful and polarizing families in American history. The journey from that small village to the corridors of power was long and arduous, marked by both triumph and tragedy. Crosses the Atlantic to the burgeoning streets of New York City, where dreams were big and the possibilities seemed endless. It was here that the Trump family began to carve out their place in the world, building an empire brick by brick. The streets of New York were a far cry from the quiet village in Germany, but they offered a new kind of promise, a new kind of opportunity. And ultimately leads us to this moment, where the echoes of gunshots force us to confront the uncomfortable truths about the America we've built. The sound of gunfire was a stark reminder of the divisions that still run deep in our society, of the challenges that we have yet to overcome. It was a moment that called for reflection, for a reckoning with the past and a reimagining of the future. The Trump legacy, with all its complexities and contradictions, was a mirror reflecting the broader American experience, a story that was still being written. The year was 1885. The world was on the cusp of great change, with industrialization transforming societies and the promise of new opportunities drawing people across oceans. A young Friedrich Trump, barely 16 years old, disembarked from a ship at Castle Garden, the bustling entry point for many hopeful souls arriving in America. The air was thick with the scent of salt water and the murmur of countless languages, each voice carrying dreams of a brighter future. Castle Garden, the precursor to Ellis Island, was a place of both hope and uncertainty. Immigrants stood in long lines, clutching their meager belongings, their eyes filled with a mix of fear and anticipation. It was here that Friedrich took his first steps on American soil, a land that promised endless possibilities. He carried with him little more than a suitcase and a burning desire for a better life. His heart pounded with a mix of excitement and trepidation as he looked around at the bustling port, the gateway to his new life. The suitcase held his few possessions, but it was his determination and resilience that would truly carry him forward. America, the land of opportunity, beckoned. The flag waving proudly in the wind symbolized the freedom and potential that lay ahead. For Friedrich, it was a beacon of hope, a sign that he had made the right choice in leaving his homeland behind. Friedrich, like many immigrants before him, sought his fortune in the burgeoning cities of his adopted homeland. The streets were alive with the sounds of commerce and the hustle and bustle of daily life. He marveled at the towering buildings and the endless stream of people, each one chasing their own version of the American dream. He ventured west, eventually finding his footing in the booming mining towns of the Klondike Gold Rush. The journey was arduous, filled with peril and uncertainty, but Friedrich's resolve never wavered. He saw the gold rush as an opportunity to carve out a place for himself in this vast, untamed land. He learned to adapt, to hustle, to spot an opportunity in the rough and tumble of frontier life. The frontier was a place where only the strong survived, and Friedrich quickly learned the skills he needed to thrive. He became adept at recognizing potential in the most unlikely places, a trait that would serve him well in the years to come. These early experiences, forged in the crucible of ambition and survival, would lay the foundation for the Trump dynasty. Friedrich's journey was not just about personal success. It was about building a legacy. His determination and entrepreneurial spirit would be passed down through generations, shaping the future of his family. Little did Friedrich know, his pursuit of the American dream would have far-reaching consequences, shaping the destiny of his family and ultimately a nation. The Trump name would become synonymous with ambition, success, and controversy, leaving an indelible mark on American history. Friedrich's story is a testament to the power of dreams and the enduring spirit of those who dare to chase them. Fred Trump, Friedrich's son, inherited his father's drive and business acumen. From a young age, Fred was immersed in the world of construction and real estate, learning the ropes from his father. He was determined to make a name for himself and expand the family business. He set his sights on a different kind of gold mine, the rapidly growing urban landscape of New York City. The city was a bustling hub of opportunity, especially in the aftermath of World War II. The boroughs of New York City were expanding at an unprecedented rate, and Fred saw this as the perfect opportunity to carve out his own niche in the real estate market. He meticulously studied the blueprints and demographics of each borough, identifying areas with the highest potential for growth. The post-World War II era saw a surge in demand for housing, and Fred was quick to capitalize. He understood that returning soldiers and their families needed affordable places to live, and he was ready to meet that demand head-on. His construction sites were a flurry of activity, with workers tirelessly building new homes to accommodate the influx of residents. He built row upon row of affordable housing, catering to the growing working and middle class. These homes were not just buildings, they were the foundation of new communities. Fred's developments provided a sense of stability and belonging for many families who were starting fresh after the war. However, his developments, while lucrative, were often criticized for their lack of diversity and alleged discriminatory practices. Fred's business practices came under scrutiny, with accusations of excluding certain racial and ethnic groups from his housing projects. This controversy cast a shadow over his achievements and raised questions about the ethics of his business model. Controversy, it seemed, was already weaving itself into the fabric of the Trump family narrative. The allegations of discrimination were a blemish on Fred's reputation, but they did not deter him from his relentless pursuit of success. He continued to build and expand, driven by an unshakable belief in his vision. Fred's relentless pursuit of wealth and his unwavering belief in his own success would leave an indelible mark on his children, particularly his son, Donald. Growing up, Donald was deeply influenced by his father's ambition and work ethic. He watched as Fred navigated the complexities of the real estate market, learning valuable lessons that would shape his own future endeavors. Fred's legacy was not just in the buildings he constructed, but in the mindset he instilled in his children, a mindset of determination, resilience, and an unyielding drive to succeed. Command. Currently the VO is 450 words long. Within the walls of the Trump household, ambition wasn't just encouraged, it was expected. Competition was fierce, and failure was not an option. Donald, the second youngest of 5 children, learned to navigate this high-pressure environment, absorbing his father's unwavering confidence and developing a keen instinct for self-promotion. The Trump family ethos revolved around a simple but potent philosophy: winning at all costs. This cutthroat mentality, instilled in Donald from a young age, would come to define his approach to business, to politics, and ultimately to life. The seeds of a future marked by both triumph and turmoil were sown in the fertile ground of the Trump family dynamic.